Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyson, and today I would like to discuss with you all the sixth seal of the revelation of Jesus Christ. And now, first, before I begin to discuss the sixth seal, I would like to go through the first five seals of the revelation and how they all pertain today and what's going on, during this world, as of today. So first, let's start with the first seal. And as you can see in Revelation 6, verses 1 through 2, it states the first seal, rider on a white horse. And it says, "Then I saw when the Lamb broke one of the seven seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures saying as with a voice of thunder, 'Come.' I looked, and behold, a white horse, and he who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went out conquering and to conquer." Now, for this, I believe, that's my opinion, that this is the, I guess they call it the Antichrist, or the man of lawlessness, or the man of sin, the spirit of the Antichrist, as I don't believe that this is Jesus, because it's Jesus who's breaking these seals, so I don't think that that would be Jesus riding on the white horse when he still has to break the other seals as well. He has to break the second seal, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and the seventh. So I believe that's not Jesus. I believe that that's the man of lawlessness, man of sin, or the spirit of the Antichrist. Now that's me. That's my opinion. That's what I believe. I don't believe that's Jesus. I believe that's the man of lawlessness. That's supposed to conquer the world. And go out to conquer. And okay, let's go to the second seal. In Revelation 6 verses 3 to 4, it states the second seal, war. When he broke the second seal, I heard a second living creature saying, "Come." And another, a red horse, went out, and to him who sat on it, it was granted to take peace from the earth, and that men must slay one another, and a great sword was given to him. And as you can see, with all this war breaking out, in this world, and even back then, probably when this was written, probably after this was written, war was going on, and war has continued to go on throughout centuries, till this day. And also, as you can see, there's no peace on the earth, and men are slaying one another, they're killing one another, people are killing one another. There's no peace on this earth. And that also reminds me of the verse in Matthew 10 verse 34 to 36, the sword of the gospel, where Jesus himself has said, "Do not think that I came to bring peace on the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I came to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemies will be the members of his household." Okay, and as you can see, look, Jesus said this, and look at the second seal. It reminds me exactly like that, war. You know, no peace, men will slay one another, and that's continuing to happen. Now, let's go on to the third seal. Revelation 6, verse 5 to 6. The third seal, famine. When he broke the third seal, I heard the third living creature saying, "Come." And I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard something like a voice in the center of the four living creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not damage the oil and wine." This, I believe, is basically famine, probably throughout the world. And I know during this time, this was probably for the Romans, because even as you can see, it says a quart of wheat for a denarius and 3 quarts of barley for denarius, and do not damage the oil and wine. And during those times, I believe they were using denarius, which is coins. I guess that the Romans created. So I guess that's how hard it would be, or that's how intense the famine would be. That people will be working like 3 quarts of a barley, a quarter of wheat for denarius. The people were working that hard just to be able to get something, I guess, like to eat or to be able to live, because it would be so much famine, and things would be so expensive, and I guess like even like it is today. You see how expensive things are getting. There is famine throughout the world. Like maybe not where you're at, but in other areas of the world there is famine, and you see it's hard to get a job, a minimum wage. You're not able to live on minimum wage. With the way things are going, you probably have to get another job, or you have to be on welfare benefits, government or public assistance and stuff like that. It relates to just like the third seal, and do not damage the oil and wine. That's how bad it would be. You're saying like don't damage the oil and wine, because you'll be able to need that. You wouldn't be able to get oil and wine regularly. As a normal thing. That's how expensive and difficult things will be during that time, and you can see how it is today too. And nowadays, some places, like you don't want to like damage like your oil or wine or something that you have, because you can see like it's expensive and you don't want to get another one because that's how expensive it is. So that's what I believe. Famine for the third seal. And let's move on to the fourth seal, death. Revelation 6, verse 7 to 8, fourth seal, death. When the Lamb broke the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature saying, "Come." I looked, and behold, and sorry, I made a mistake. An ashen horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was following with him. Authority was given to them over 1/4 of the earth, to kill with sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. Now, even though death has been going on since the beginning of the world, I mean, I guess it's something that's going to continue, or maybe this is going to intensify as well. And that's another thing I want to, I guess, like clarify when it comes to hell. I think hell is basically another name for Hades. It's not, people say you go to hell and you burn in forever. No. That's the second death. There you go. That's the second death. That's the lake of fire. That's the real hell. The real hell. This hell is Hades, where people, I guess, once they die, they this. Well, I think their spirit, just goes into the grave, and they're resting. Just like Jesus said, I don't remember the girl, the parents, she died, but Jesus said that she was resting, and Jesus told her to arise, and she arose. So I guess, when you die, that your rest, your spirit is resting until Judgment Day. But even then, later on in the New Testament, the disciples, like Saul, he was able to make a girl. Was it a girl? Yeah, he was able to make a girl who had died, come back to life too. So, I mean, by saying arise, telling her to arise in Jesus' name. So maybe, if it's possible, other disciples of Jesus can do the same thing. People who died, if they absolutely believe in, have faith, they could tell arise in Jesus' name, and they could arise. But I think that, Hades, that's the grave, and death, people die, basically. So it's not hell, you're going to be burning in a lake of fire. That's the second death. Lake of fire. And basically this is continuing. One authority was given to them, 1/4 of the earth, to kill with sword, famine, pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. And I do also believe that this is basically God's judgment. This is God's judgment on the earth. This is God's judgment on the world. Because